Garry Ferrara back in again for many of times. My man, thank you for the pizza. We got Sean working the board in the back.
No problem. He didn't like it.
Who, Sean?
Yeah.
Nah, Sean liked it. All right, so what's going on with the stock market right now? Because a lot of people ask me to ask you, like Brandon. Did he contact you?
He did.
He did? He's getting killed.
You know, he was in here talking, and you were talking about the 300 grand in Tesla. You know, and you push me to say some things, but it just isn't that kind of deal. In other words, he made his money, and then he contacted me the other night and told me the amount of money he was losing. I said, go to cash. Just go to cash now. And he said he did.
What's go to cash mean, though?
Get liquid. Don't have any stocks.
I'll sell it all.
Just get flat. Well, because he got lucky. Okay? Luck doesn't teach you anything. It's like going to a casino and hitting 16 against the dealer's 10. You pull a 5, you win. You think you found the Magna Carta or something. It doesn't work. And, you know, I've seen this movie so many times. I saw a guy one time, where was it? Payne Weber. He comes over and we had petitions between us. Knocked back. He puked. I could smell it. I go, what did you do? I just lost 100 grand in OEX options. And he went to the bathroom and he just retched. Okay, I've seen it. And I couldn't really say anything because it would have looked like I was just dissing the guy. But if you don't know what's going on and you don't know what they can do, and here's what they can do. Any goddamn.
Bring the mic up a little bit.
Sure, they can do anything that they want.
So right now, you would say if you have stock, sell it, and don't buy anything right now.
If you don't know what you're doing, this is, I don't know where the minefield is, but it's like walking through a farmer's field barefoot. You're gonna find cow patties. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
And you see, if they're day traders at this Robinhood that we talked about last time, you had the SEC pinch. Robinhood didn't start that firm to help the little guy. Robinhood started that firm to help the principals at Robinhood. So they got tagged for overcharging for orders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You ask me about that. If I sniff something like that, I act immediately. I'll just go someplace else. But for the average guy that's looking at YouTube videos that doesn't know what he's doing, you get flat and go learn something. Okay? Because if you don't know, it'll be like getting run over. It's like being in England and looking the wrong way. When you walk over the curb, you're going to get run over, and it's going to be awful.
So if I want to get into stocks, what would you tell me to go learn?
The first thing I'd do for the average guy that had money, I would teach him about the S&P 500, about a 50-day moving average and a 200-day moving average. You can go to a firm like Vanguard. You can buy an exchange-traded fund that has all of those 500 stocks in there. You probably will do pretty well over a period of time. Okay, and it's very simple, and people have asked me, and I always tell them, and guess who called Vanguard and got the information? How many people? Nobody. They don't.
You can actually call Vanguard?
Yeah,
Really?
it's an investment firm, and John Bogle died here a couple years ago, but their fees are so low that in the S&P 500 ETF, that dividends pay for the fees. They're that low. So if you're young, okay, and you go in there and you just look once a week, you should be able to beat most managers. So
Brandon hit 300K on the Tesla. When he called you, what did he say to you? Well, I know what he said to you. I said, you better call him now. and I mean, he was getting his head beat in because he was buying all kinds of shit. But like Boeing, not a good move right now. He was just buying stupid shit. Now, what did you tell him to do? I mean, I know you told him to go liquid.
Yeah.
But what was he doing so wrong? Just buying, basically?
I told him, I said, look, I'll be in the saddle about 6 in the morning. If you want to come by, if you want to call. You want to give me some holdings, I'll give you some places to put some stops in. That's where if the market drops to a particular point that you get taken out, but he didn't call. And that is not unusual. But this is, look at you know how we talked and we talk about what's going to happen after the first of the year with the economy and everything? What do you think is going to happen when all these guys go in there and they lose their money?
Well, I think we're fucked. That's what I think. I mean, that's what I think personally.
Well said. But you know, you're an expert. You're not a gambler, but we've talked about it. They're using this as a gambling platform. Now, I traded all day long. I knew they were going to play games today, and I lost $64. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you don't think much of that maybe, but that's a hell of a day because I was playing some different things. And at the end of the day, they spiked that market a good 1.5% for no reason. So do you think, I was short Facebook, and it had every indication it was going to go down. They whipped it the other way on me, and it went up like 60, 70 cents. To a day trader, that's a lot. So I stopped myself out. I think I lost $18 on that trade. Do you think that something fundamental happened to Facebook to account for that move? Or do you think that's the market maker saying, okay, I see a lot of stops up there. If I can just make this thing go, I can clear out all those stops and make some money? Which would you think it was? So if you don't know those things,
You're going to get killed.
you're going to get killed.
You know what's funny, Sean? He used to count cards
Wow.
at the casino.
Why is that funny to Sean?
It's not funny. That's a great talent.
Let's
Let's go to the casino right now.
He got thrown out of a couple of them. Move back a little bit so that you sound good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's all right.
You've only done this 900
Tommy
times.
knows the pit boss. We'll be good.
Yeah, I don't know anybody. Okay,
No
so
more blackjack for you. You can play anything else. Get your head handed to you. No more blackjack. Yes, sir.
okay, so we're gonna pull up one of the things that you sent. Gary won, whatever one that is.
The last time I was here, I told you about the Internet of Things. Okay, and when we started this back in November, you had no belief that Trump was going to win. Okay, and look where we are here on 31st of December, New Year's Eve, with three losers that have no life. Okay, but here's what's happened.
So explain this here. What is this?
There was a hearing yesterday in Georgia. It was hours and hours long. Trump's team has been saying all along that the state legislators who have the ability, constitutional authority, to decertify Biden have to do it. So the video goes on, and they had these three data experts. And I clipped this from the video. I stood up yesterday. It was like an hour. My wife was standing behind me watching it. It was absolutely riveting. I don't know the time. Sean, do you know the time that happened? Sean's our running the board tonight, but he's an expert at this stuff. Because what they've done is they've requested all the absentee ballots from 10:30 at night to 1 o'clock in the morning. And they did, by the way, get that. But what this is, look at the left side. This is probably when I went to bed. In this one county in Georgia, Trump is up. Now look at the numbers. Before those numbers get through to the other side of this Dominion machine, look what happened. They flipped them exactly. Now look. Either they're really stupid and they made all that obvious. Because wouldn't you just mess it up a little bit? Leave Trump with like 12,900 and Biden with 11,800? It would have been enough. What this tells me is they're so arrogant.
They thought they could get away with it. So now, Sean, when you look at this, what do you think?
I think that happened right. What time was it? You think like 1:30 in the morning?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think about 1:30 in the morning when I was watching it the night of. I couldn't believe when they started saying, we're stopping counting. And then another state says, we're stopping counting. I immediately tweeted or posted, the fix is in, guys. This has never happened before. They're stopping counting. That means they're trying to figure out how many votes they need to make up.
I heard the plumbing leak. I went, oh,
The
Jesus.
plumbing leak.
What's the plumbing leak?
Oh, go ahead.
They cleared out They cleared out a whole poll facility saying there's a plumbing leak so that they could go back in and count fake votes, basically.
Wow.
Oh, you know what it was?
And there was no plumbing leak.
It was a urinal.
It was a urinal.
Somebody stopped it up themselves.
Yeah,
It would be like if me and Tommy were like, "Yo, we need to clear the building out. What do we do? You know, like go plug up the urinal or something."
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's insane.
Oh,
And
God.
it worked. That's
Yeah.
the craziest part.
And it is.
Well, we've been through this before, he and I, Sean.
Yeah.
And you had an executive order in September of 2018 that Trump put in, and then you had the fall sweep of the down ballots by the Democrats. Now, this is solid, but what I'm going to tell you is just my idea. Trump comes out the morning of November the 5th. Election's the 3rd. He wakes up the 4th, knows what happens. On the 5th, and there's a speech you could get, he goes through it piece by piece, explaining exactly what happened. You can't get that information that quickly. They knew. So it appears to me that he was setting them up. Now, there's another picture online. I didn't bring that one. And it was a Dominion machine, and they came into being in 2003. Every election, they did other stuff before that, but every election since 2003 is suspect. Now, if you look at a billboard, okay, there's a picture of a beautiful woman or a handsome man. You ever see a picture of Jerry Nadler? He looks like Wimpy in the Popeye cartoons.
Who's Jerry Nadler?
He's a congressman from New York, but he's a freaking slob.
Do you know who he is, Sean?
Real quick, guys, before we go into that, what you just said since 2003 it's been going on,
Yeah.
I totally believe that because Julian Assange at WikiLeaks dropped the WikiLeaks dump of Hillary's emails
Last night.
in 2016. They were talking about how they're meeting with Soros later this week for some pre-programming of the machines. That's a quote.
Oh, I got to have that.
That's a quote.
You got to send that to me.
I'll email it to you or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it says these machines will be humming in November. It says that right in the emails, and this is John Podesta talking to Donna Brazil, Todd Mackler.
Oh, what could be wrong there?
Yeah, they're the heads of the DNC. The top of the DNC is talking about rigging the election.
What could be wrong there, right?
Donner Brazil.
Jeez.
But look,
where do you even begin?
when we started this, I said, well, look, some people like Biden and this and that and the other thing, and there's no question. You look right there, those emails that Assange will get a pardon for that, Sean.
That's what's been going on all over the internet. The rumor is that Trump's saying he's going to pardon Assange, or it's coming, but it never happens. And I totally think that he should have been pardoned long ago because he's being mistreated in that prison that he's in.
Yeah,
well, he's a hero.
Trump tonight's his big party at Mar-a-Lago, which is a mile up the road, right?
Yeah, my friend's going there tonight.
He went home. Trump went back to Washington yesterday.
Did he?
Does that mean he knows something, or?
Well, there's the difference in looking at this like an American citizen worried about your country and you want it to come out right, and you had said it 100 times that if Biden won, so be it. That some bitch couldn't win dog catcher if it was honest. What would you do?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a blithering old fool.
He had less than 1,000 people at his last speech, and Trump never has a speech without 20,000 and up.
Yeah, it's insane. Well, and of course, you can look at that, but it's not admissible in any court, and it's kind of worthless except to say, man, we're really getting hammered. So I said it last time.
Well, the morons went too far is what they did.
They did. They got stuck because the guy got so many votes.
Well, I think they were so worried about, how they thought that they would need to go this far to beat him.
Yeah.
And what I think was, I'm sure there was fraud on Trump's side too. I don't think there's fraud everywhere. It's just the way it is. But not like this.
One guy got caught voting twice for Trump, and so the New York Times ran with the story. But Sean, let me ask you a question because you're in on this. Am I interrupting you for something?
No.
I mean, you do. Okay.
He better be clicking right. He's not getting paid. I see him fucking with his computer.
When Hillary Clinton came out and said, Joe Biden don't concede. What was she saying? Why did she say that?
Well, first of all, I think that that's even illegal to say, to tell someone not to concede even if you fairly lose.
God forbid Hillary would break the law.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, this guy knows.
That's
all
why.
this
That's
stuff.
why I'm asking. You can go. We'll do it.
Yeah. I should be the one clicking, I guess.
What was she saying?
She was saying that they had it in the bag, basically. Stay locked in the basement. We got it from here, buddy.
How? Don't concede. She knew Trump was up 900,000 in Pennsylvania. What was she saying?
She knew at the 2 seconds to midnight they'd pull it out.
Thank you. She knew they would print 901,000 votes. Or whatever they did, we're going to show it. By the way, okay, this is a good spot. Go to...
Talking to the microphone.
Go to number 5.
And while he's pulling it up, while he's on camera too, what's number 5?
It's...
Yeah, just look. Tell me.
It's a Democrat right there. The ballot on the left is for Republicans. The ballot on the right is for Democrats.
Blow that up, Sean. Just click that.
Okay? There's a little code down in the corner. Okay? See how it's misaligned?
Yeah.
All the Republican votes would get kicked out to be adjudicated. So they would be changed to Biden. The Democrat votes would go through.
Okay, so can you explain it to me? Because I have no idea what you're talking. Okay, so I'm looking at aligned. I know you and Sean understand this, but I'm a moron over here with this. So that's aligned, right? So explain to me aligned.
Well, I mixed it up. The Republican is on the right. When it goes through the scanner, it's not going to pick up the barcode or whatever you want to call that.
Because there's a plus sign right there. Is that what you're saying?
So the one to the right is no vote.
Correct. And it gets kicked out. Okay, then the chick with the orange hair can take it and do something else with it and make it Biden. And that's how some of the reason why in the last clip you saw the votes get switched over.
So can you explain it too?
I don't know how they would scan it and know which ones were coming from Republicans to make it.
Because that's the way the ballots were printed.
Okay.
They took care of this ahead of time. There's a graphic.
You're saying the mail-in ballots that went out to Republicans were misaligned.
Correct. Some of them. Not
So
in
you
every
have to-
situation.
I didn't know the pretext to this.
Yeah,
So if I walked up and voted, it wouldn't be like that.
correct.
Yeah.
That's why
That's why they pushed mail-in voting. I see what you're saying.
And that's why they asked for absentee ballots.
Okay, so explain now what he just told you and like say you're talking to a guy like me that has no idea what the hell any
So
of this
when
stuff
COVID
is.
came out, they started pushing mail-in ballots.
Yeah, got that part.
When they mail it to you and you're a registered Democrat, you get a good ballot, like the one on the left, the blue. That's
The blue.
aligned. So when you
Okay.
cast your vote and it's counted, it's counted. If you're a Republican, they'd send you one that's misaligned. So you're bubbling in the wrong thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So okay, so you guys tell me.
You take your pen and bubble it in, and it's not going to get counted.
I'm with two bosses here with this. But I want anybody
I've
watch it
actually
to
never
understand.
seen this before, but it makes sense that they would do something
So
like this.
in other words, what you're saying is, if it's a Democrat, it has the plus sign like that, and then it goes through, it's counted. If it's Republican, it's not in the middle like it's supposed to be. It's over there on the right-hand side of the ballot, and then it gets thrown out. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And then you can do what you want with
You
it. But
bubble in the circle.
they were so greedy.
Oh,
You
they do
bubble in-
that.
No. When you receive that, you bubble in the circle. But you're bubbling in the wrong area if you get the one on the right.
I see.
You see what I'm saying?
So there's a
It's
bubble.
Scantron, like a test.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. So they kind of knew who they were sending it to.
They knew if you're a registered Republican to send you that one that's messed up.
Wow. Is there proof of that?
Yeah, you're looking at it.
I mean, not that it's going to do anything, but there's proof of that?
Yeah,
Holy
course.
Fuck.
Will the courts see the evidence? That's the question. Will the courts
No.
hear this?
No, they
evidence?
won't. They won't.
This can't be up to because by the way, this guy here, you had it cold. The last time we did it, and I didn't want to hear it. But people are being threatened. There's the only excuse this could happen. Now I know some of the state legislators have backed down because Antifa threatened them. They'll dox you. They will go to your. They will.
Who's Antifa again? I was
don't know.
all these names. Who's Antifa? Sean?
Anti-fascist.
It's a George Soros-funded leftist group that
This guy can school you.
That threatens and muscles conservative groups and people leaving Trump events or trying to peacefully assemble, and then they make us look crazy because they're throwing dog shit and urine and all kinds of things on Republicans.
Incendiaries, tear gas.
And then people show up and beat their ass, and then it makes us look like, well, they're a bunch of pussies. So when people show up and beat their ass because it's easy, they make us look like the violent ones in the news.
But Antifa's who? Like
Anti-fascist.
It's a bunch of basement-dwelling kids that want communism.
is that what it is? Really?
That's really what it is.
Hey, search Antifa, Denver, Colorado, and see if you get that picture.
So
I'm 70 years old. I could kick half of that.
Sean,
group.
make sure you switch the cam. So what is that? What are you having him look up?
This group, they're in the woods in Denver, training to come and kill you and me.
It's a picture?
Yeah. Sean just came from the gym. No, it's not them. It's this group of really skinny looking bimbo, and they got they're trying to make
They're trying to train these kids.
Yeah, they're in the woods.
Trying to train these kids
they're in
to
the woods.
Be effective against patriots and veterans. It's not going to happen.
Do you know how many veterans that have seen combat that have about had enough of this shit?
Look at that flag. By the way, that flag, see the logo on that flag?
Yeah.
That's very similar to the Nazi symbolism.
Yeah. And they're anti-fascists.
Which were fascists. By the way.
I will point out that Nazis in Germany,
This is an anarchy symbol.
Wow.
smash racism. You ever see a skinny white kid stand in the face of a black police officer and tell him he's racist?
Here's 3 cops holding back 100 of them.
Hey, that picture down on the left, that looks like the build of
Says I
something.
can't breathe. It's funny.
There you
That's
go.
when they sent the feds in.
Yeah.
They sent the feds in to find, because they were attacking government buildings. You can't do that. That's the only time Trump ever sent feds in, federal agents, to go round these guys up when they tried to attack a courthouse somewhere. And I think it was Portland.
Denver. There's where those guys were working on. See, right there in my mind, okay?
The fuck? What, they kill him?
I wish. Give him a
Guys lying
reason.
on the fucking
Let's
ground.
just look at Antifa images.
It's hilarious. I wished I brought it.
Right, we're right there. Right there, Sean. Second row to your far right. Right there.
Yeah.
Click on that. Jesus, it does.
They think that they're anti-fascist, but this is literally the same thing as the brown shirts did.
Yeah,
In
if
Germany.
I didn't know, I would think that was, what'd you say? They're
this
manipulating
flag-
the same
Yeah.
flag as what?
They did the same thing as the brown shirts did in Germany in the 30s. where
What's the brown shirts?
The brown shirts were like the Hitler Youth Brigade, where they'd show up and...
These fucking people are crazy.
Now, the brown
Like
shirts.
Mao. Mao did the same thing in China.
The brown shirts were Ernst Röhm, and that was when in the early to mid 30s, Hitler had him killed because they had too much power. He turned them into the SS. But you see, they're so stupid.
Correct.
Nazi translates into English as National
Wait, go to Wideview.
Socialist.
Does that say "Good night, white pride"? And there's white people carrying the fucking thing.
It doesn't make any sense. How do I go to Wideview on that?
None of this
Camera
makes
3,
any
no,
sense.
camera 3. I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm on Wideview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sean's very smart. It's just his first time.
Yeah.
That's all. Who cares? It's natural. Natural's always better than fake.
I mean, here's one... Look at this. This is one patriot here kicking over their whole... these guys can't even hold their sign up. Here's one guy against like 50. I mean, this is what happens every time.
See, if I didn't know, I don't know any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So when I look at that little sign right there, to me it's like either like the Hitler thing or the other thing.
I mean, it's the
Whatever
same
that
thing
other sign
as-
is.
It's the same thing
Yeah,
as
he knows all this shit.
what Mao was doing
Fucking weird.
when Mao took over and made China communist.
Okay, who's Mao?
See
Mao
that?
Zedong is a
Mao Zedong.
yes. This is Mao.
Okay.
And he had these youth brigades these are all kids that would go around
She's kind of hot.
and
That one there.
literally
In the pajamas.
round up people that wanted to be free. And they actually had stories of these youth brigades eating people. They'd boil them and eat them up in the hills of China.
I don't doubt that over there. I don't doubt it.
So-
you think she's hot? You need your. I know you're a little bit older and like to whack off to everything, but I don't know about that. Jeez.
I mean, he had these youth brigades that would come in and squash anybody that
What
spoke
in the
against Mao.
fuck?
Okay, so he always
And you can't deny this shit because I mean, this is real
He
pictures.
promised
yeah.
them the world: free healthcare, free food, free everything, free wages.
Wow,
That's the
these
same thing
people
as
are
Bernie's
sick.
doing.
hey,
Bernie Sanders.
Same thing as Bernie's doing.
he stops me all the
Socialists.
He stops me all the time. I'm probably old enough to be your grandfather. This is what happened. In World War II, the Japanese go into Manchuria in 1932. So 9 years before we even show up, they're chopping heads off of people, executing people. We go in, get rid of the Japanese. Mao Zedong and Chiang Kai-shek were the two leaders. Mao Zedong gets the high hand. So Chiang Kai-shek goes to Taiwan. You're still living this dream because China now wants Taiwan and Trump is sending our. It's still a problem. You get into the Korean War. The North Koreans invade the South. The U.S. sends over people. I've talked to some of the guys that were in that war. They weren't trained. They had World War II equipment. They didn't know what to do. We lost 33,000 people in 2.5 years. That is brutal. Dead.
In a war.
Yeah, the China.
What do we usually like lose in
Well,
a war?
Vietnam was 55,000, which was horrific, but it was 10 years. This was 3 years. You're talking 10, 11, 12,000
How many in
dead.
Vietnam?
55,000.
And how many in 2 years?
In 2.5 years, 33,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, listen, it was brutal. But what happened was MacArthur invades the North. Okay? There'll be a pop quiz in the morning, so you know. MacArthur invades the North. So the U.S. Marines are up there in sub-zero temperatures just pushing the North Koreans back. They're eating their chow, it's Thanksgiving. All of a sudden, the bugles go off, and 300,000 Chinese come across the border. Okay? So this is the stuff that I grew up to. And in the 50s, they painted the Chinese as the monsters that they now are. And this is how we got here. Mao Zedong killed 20 million of his own people. Kind of like Che Guevara, and these knuckleheads wear T-shirts with Che Guevara's picture on it. They don't know. They don't know anything, and they think they do. And that's terrible.
By the way,
That's why I let you go back to
by
the
the way,
30s.
he admits it. They openly admit that they've killed these many millions of people in China.
I mean, there's pictures of it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's one thing to think it or to read about it, but I mean,
Stalin killed 20 million of his people and the entire officer corps of the Red Army. So they went into World War II basically blind. I mean, I had some officers I would have liked to kill, but, you can't do it. Pretty good, huh?
So back to what we're talking about. I mean, with the Antifa, this has all been done before, and with other communist takeovers, and that's what scares us so bad. This is a socialist communist takeover, basically.
So it's just a situation that's happening.
Yeah.
It's
History
repeating.
repeats.
History repeats. That's what I was trying to say.
Always.
Holy fuck.
Always. But I want to, he didn't hear this, but I wanted to take you back. It was like 2005, about 1997, I figured out something was wrong. There was this guy, a really nice guy. He used to write research for these Wall Street firms. And I gave him a stock, and he wrote it up, and he made institutional investor. And I was real happy for him, but I always worked at small firms. So this was like in 1993. We all made a ton of money. He calls me in 1997. He's like screaming on the phone. He went into a firm, wrote some research for him, and the NASD laid on him. It was a firm called, I think, Marathon or something. And the firm was crooked, and the NASD laid it all on him because he signed some papers he probably shouldn't have signed. He didn't get a lawyer. Skip. I'm watching all the stock trading, all this stuff. And what happens is that I get a couple of guys, some of the guys I've told you about, and Patrick Byrne, the CEO of Overstock, does a conference call. I mean, my mouth dropped.
Oh, he knows all about this. He knows all about this.
No, I was talking to him outside.
Yeah.
Well, Overstock, I don't know.
Patrick Byrne says that he facilitated the bribes.
Okay,
going to the
let me
Clintons,
back up and set the story up for you, and you can
I
do
don't
the.
know a lot about it.
I do. So I call him up and I go, Pat, and he goes, the name is Patrick. Patrick was a multimillionaire then. He's got an IQ. I don't know how high they go, but he's up there someplace. And when he speaks, he's over everybody's head, and he sounds like he's over everybody's head. And sometimes he sounds crazy, but I know he doesn't lie. Does that help you out a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what, I got the same feeling.
Well,
listening
no,
to him.
but I know because I dealt with him. So we did some things together, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We lost. They call that 2008. That's why I refer you to the big score. All of a sudden, he shows up. Well, what's he doing here? Well, his dad passed away. There was a firm called White Mountain. Patrick's dad took over Geico. It was failing. He made it into something, sold it to Warren Buffett. Then he took over Fireman's Fund, did the same thing there, sold it to American Express. They got a few dollars. So it was him on his jet that flew what he calls white hat hackers to Michigan. And they tapped those machines.
That guy there, right?
That's him. That's him.
I never actually saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's 57. He's had cancer three times.
That's who says he went on the TV and he said the FBI told him to facilitate bribes from foreign companies to the Clintons. The FBI made him do it.
This guy's a fucking monster with this shit.
$38 million.
Throw me that black mouse, the black one.
$38 million, he says. Now, I got to tell you that if this is just like you, and this is the first time I met you, that you come and tell me that, yeah, that's great, you know. But I can't dismiss it. And I can't dismiss all the things that went around, and you got to send me that email, the Soros email. Okay? So he spent all the money. Now, here's what I asked him the other day. You didn't see the Georgia video, correct?
No.
Okay. In the Georgia video,
Can I pull that up?
uh,
Is it on?
you don't have to.
Okay.
Let him pull it up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, wait, well, yeah. You talk about it while he pulls it up.
Yeah. There's a guy, his name is Pulitzer. Okay?
Georgia, what video?
Put in Georgia hearing 12:30. I think, you know, it was like 5 hours long, but the particular video is like an hour and 47 minutes.
Election fraud hearing?
That's it.
Okay, so now what is this? What is this?
This was the hearing. They haven't been able to get any of the state legislators to come along and do the right thing, and most of them are Republican. I go back to what you say. They're being threatened, okay, because there's no reason why they would do what they're doing.
Well, like I was telling him last night, they got to, who is it, Sean Robinson? The
Justice Robertson.
Yeah.
Well, we're
He's
gonna
been crooked, we found out.
we're gonna get into that, but here's the deal with this. There's a guy that comes in by the name of Pulitzer.
fucking ads.
That's okay. The guy comes in. This isn't going to be the video. This is going to be their
So where do you want
version
him
of
to
it.
pull it to?
So Pulitzer.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I
forget
can
it, forget
talk you
it.
through it.
Yeah, just
All right.
yeah.
So one of the guy chairing the meeting comes up to the podium and he goes, I know we're short on time. It's only the country, and these guys are worried about 2 minutes, right? Like, what are they missing?
Yeah.
So he says, we have some breaking information. So this guy comes up, portly guy, bald, and he says, we've got in. We're in. That's what he said. And he said, we have a machine. We've hacked it. We're into it. Now, remember, the Senate races are going on now. With the Stacey Adams, the beauty queen, Abrams, the beauty queen, and everything, and her sister, the judge, who just happens to
I
always.
think Sean loves her.
Does she answer your email after you've been holding her picture up with one hand?
pull up the next one, Gary.
No, hold on. I'm gonna finish this. So what he said. Okay, I tell you what. Go to 6. Go to 6, Sean. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
That by the way, is something else. I'm going to back up a little bit. Patrick came out with something, and he said, look up the Internet of Things. I did that with you the last time I was here. You could set up those cameras to send and receive internet signals. They had one, they found one that was hooked to a thermostat, and it was sending data directly to China. And this came out a couple of days after he said that. And remember, I told you I give him a lot of credence because I worked with him. And there it is. The machine talked to China. Okay, go back.
Now, hold on. I want to tell you something. And he taught me this. And I didn't know it. And he said, look, there's nothing you can get made in China for free. And,
You
the Apple phone is here. So the Fed's subpoenaing them. Whatever, they don't give anything up because there's only one key, but they don't have the key. But he told me, and I believe it 100%. But I didn't even think about it. But he's like, well, yeah, we don't have the key, but China has the key because there's a price, right, Sean?
They give you zero taxes in China to move to China. If you move your company to China, they give you zero taxes. But with that deal is the government has to be involved with your business. So the code keys for your iPhone are definitely in China.
Just before I left the house.
I believe him 100%.
Just before I left the house.
I couldn't believe it when he told me.
Apple dropped 39,000 Chinese apps off their platform.
Now, why'd they do that?
Well, because Trump told them to. He signed an executive order, plus the Chinese were stealing and not paying Apple the VIG.
Now, how does that work, Sean?
Also, you're not allowed to have an iPhone on any military base or any government building now because they know. They know what they're doing.
Because they know that China's got the fucking key.
Yeah.
You ever see their
This kid's smart.
Have you ever seen their mainline fighter plane?
No.
It looks remarkably like the F-35.
They steal everything. All of our intellectual data gets stolen the second we come out with it.
There's some patriot in China who's probably drawn and quartered and fed to dogs by now.
Fed the dogs.
Tap to fatten them up so they can put them in the market. But
you can go back to this thing, but
stay right
I
there.
wanted to compliment him because he was absolutely right about that. And then I looked it up and I was like, man,
the CCP.
That was when I kind of like first met him. And I was like, man, this motherfucker's really smart.
That he's crazy.
Well.
And by the way,
to be smart, you have to be crazy.
What did you tell me downstairs when I said these guys are starting to look like they're crazy? What did you say?
I said everyone's starting to look crazy because what they're doing is so crazy. And we're talking about it. So we sound crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, there's 2.2 million CCP agents. Chinese.
Okay, what's a CCP agent?
Chinese Communist Party. If you're a member of the party, you are an agent. You do what they tell you. 90 of them work for Boeing. 90 work for Pfizer. 250 work for Boeing. On and on and on.
Lockheed Martin.
Sure. So this is the Internet of Things. This is what this said, and I put it up there because it proved what Patrick said. So now we go to the meeting. And in the meeting, Pulitzer gets up. They introduce him. We got into a machine. It is sending information. It is receiving information. It is not supposed to be on the Internet. It's a counting machine. It's like you bringing out one of those calculators from 25 years ago, and it's talking to somebody. It's not supposed to do that.
Voting machines are not allowed to be on the Internet, period.
And they all are. So in the...
okay, let me ask both of you guys with brains, okay? Not me, because I don't know anything about this shit. So how did they get away with being on the Internet when they're not supposed to be?
Because the fucking Democrats don't do anything and the Republicans back them up. Look how hard this is. Look what Giuliani and Ellis went through. And look at how what the mainstream media did. And who told me today something about the media? And I said, it's a freaking lie. They lie about it. Oh, somebody called me. What's going on there? Well, this is terrible and this is going to happen. Just turn that crap off.
But the newest lie today is that congressman died of COVID. Did you hear that?
Yeah, how
He's 41 years old, died of COVID. He actually died of a heart attack after they tried to intubate him. And they said he died of COVID.
Oh, so he was trying to get the shot?
But no, he had COVID. He
Oh,
went to
okay.
the hospital. They tried to put him under to shove tubes down his throat and put pressure into his lungs, which he didn't need to do. He wasn't passing out or anything. And he had a heart attack and died.
Oh, 40,
and then they said he
41
died of
years old,
COVID.
2 kids.
But in the fine print, it says what he actually died of a heart attack.
But why would they whack? But why would they whack him though?
They didn't. They're just trying to raise more COVID fear.
They get paid.
A congressman died. They're saying a
this
congressman
this
died.
just gets sicker and sicker.
Yeah.
And you know, if you go back to the videos you and I did together, we started out and it was just, well, this is what's happening and this really looks suspicious, but there's nothing to be proven. If you go watch that video from yesterday, there is no secrets anymore.
He knows everything, and half the things he tells me and he sends me, I read it and I gotta be like even I'm just like
Okay,
I
so-
can't even read all of it because it's like mind-boggling.
It's
Like I know they're going to people with money and threatening their family and their dogs and shit like that, but you know the more that this goes on, I mean this guy's right, you're right. I mean, he's especially right because he was calling this probably. Me and you were like, maybe. Remember? Probably like 2 months ago. He came in 2 months ago, and then we did another one, but the machine messed up, and it was really long. And and I mean, he pretty much called all of this. Probably, when did we do that conspiracy one? Probably about 2 months ago. Maybe even longer. Maybe 2.5 months ago.
Well, the writing's on the wall when you got a foreign company out of
Fucking
Canada,
crazy.
Dominion, and they get $400 million from China, who's paying Biden already. The writing's on the wall, people. I mean, it was easy to predict that.
Through Union Bank, who they have a majority ownership in. Union Bank of
They
Switzerland.
did it through Union Bank.
Yeah, the wonderful bank in World War II where the Jewish people had all their safe deposit boxes, and when they dialed in the Holocaust, UBS kept all the money. Yeah. So anyway, Sean, what I like to do is I like to keep it to myself until I know something. Pulitzer gets into this meeting, and he confirms offhandedly while he's talking about the machine being hacked, and he mentions the thermostat. So now you have Patrick, who his detractors are going to say is crazy, talking about something that's reproduced in the Thinking Conservative magazine and confirmed by Pulitzer. So I asked Patrick, I said, is Pulitzer one of your white hat guys? And he says, he's a cousin. So you have Walper, Colonel Walper, the guy that, go look, you'll see him. He was one of the guys that went to Michigan.
Who's Pulitzer again?
He's the guy, the hacker that showed up at the meeting and announced that they got into the machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's getting nuts.
Everyone's getting into these machines. That's the thing. They're easy to get into, apparently.
Yeah, it's like prom night, you know?
Like prom that he said.
You want to, all right, so look.
It's just, I mean, it's just.
All right, so let's.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Now,
man.
everything up to now, all right, I'm as sure of as anything I can be without putting my hands on it. Watching the videos, I'm reading the blogs, I'm watching all of this stuff. Now, we'll go into the stuff that's kind of, it's sexy. It's kind of off of the...
Lynn stuff?
There you go. Lynn Wood is the attorney that got Richard Jewell off, the guy that was blamed for the Atlanta Olympic bombings. He's based in Georgia. He did one other famous case pro bono, but he's now defending the Rittenhouse boy who blew that guy's arm off in Wisconsin last summer.
Yeah.
You want to
Rittenhouse.
You want to see what an M4 can do. The guy jumped him and he pulled out a Glock, and the kid, 17 years old, turned around, blew his arm off with that M4. Okay? So, Lynn Wood, I'm sorry, but I'm always a little skittish when people in something like this start talking about Jesus and God and all that. It just kind of puts me off. Let's stick to the facts. Okay? I'm thrilled that you have beliefs and you're welcome to them, but he shows up, he and Sidney Powell. Now, Patrick never talks about Lynn Wood, but he always talks about Flynn, and he always talks about Powell. And if you look at the videos...
Who defended Flynn?
Patrick. If you look in the videos, you don't see Sidney Powell on camera, but you see Flynn and you see Patrick. Look at the curtains. They're the same in both videos. They're different colors, but the pattern's the same. So
what does that matter?
Because they're traveling together and they're at the White House.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
They're traveling together. Patrick, who likes to brag just a little bit.
This is some sort of legal team.
Correct.
Yes.
And Patrick's putting the money up. This shit's expensive. He said he's got $1.5 million.
Too bad he has to do that, because he would be great to be sitting right there right now. But
well, somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
No, this is your show.
Well, it's our show. You're an American. And you know something? I'm so pleased to see somebody your age so interested in defending the Republic. Because if you watch the television...
You'll never meet anybody more than him.
You know what?
Actually, I take that back.
I've been in this
His
fight.
fiance? Forget about it.
I've been in this fight for 10 years. I used to go home and turn on guys like Alex and turn on other guys that were way ahead of their time talking about what was going to happen and all this. And now it's cool to be politically activated, and everyone's jumping on because you got like the QAnons, and you got this little breadcrumb trail, and you got the Lynn Woods, and you got all these people tweeting about it, and Michael Flynn and all this. And it's becoming cool to be political now, which I love. And like you mentioned, my girlfriend is all into it now. She wasn't a year ago. Until Trump ran, nobody was into this stuff. Because now they finally see what a real president does and how they treat him.
Well, can I point two things out to you? The first thing is, it's been a long time since this is about politics. Politics is sitting down with somebody, and you have a point of view, and I have a point of view, and we discuss a point of view. This is treason, my friend.
And that's why they bring up Christ and good versus evil, because that's what it really is. It's good versus evil.
Right. I'm just personally going. Okay, so now you got Sidney Powell, you got Flynn, Patrick's putting the money up. This is all stuff that this is what I did 20 years ago.
You guys are so good. This is all natural. And I think that the reason why the podcast has grown so quick, one, because of Sean, and two, because it's natural. I'm going to turn that camera on him because he's good. I mean, he's wonderful. He can do that. And
I'm in my gym clothes. I'm just
nobody
in the shadows
cares.
back
Nobody.
here.
All right, he wants to be.
I'll chime in once in a while.
All right. So here's the thing, and I've done this before. We would look at things, and there wasn't the internet like there is today. There was internet, and I would call and I go, Jim Cramer just ripped up an SEC subpoena on television, and then Patrick had a group of people. It's not like it is today. And he'd give me the timestamp. I think it was 6:05, and then he would have his team go, and he would pull the clip. And there's that asshole Kramer ripping this subpoena up, and then scribbling on it, and then throwing it on the floor. So this is how we would do it. So what I'm saying now is that this is not about politics. So you've got Patrick, you've got Sidney Powell, you've got Mike Flynn, and they're working kind of as a team. According to Patrick, is tonight Friday?
You've got Giuliani.
Not in that group.
Not in that group.
That's why they separated.
Separately.
They separated Paul.
Yeah.
What day is it today? It's Thursday, right?
Thursday.
So it's 2 weeks ago tomorrow night that there's a 4.5-hour meeting at the White House, and Patrick goes ballistic because Flynn and Patrick and Powell are telling the president he needs a special counsel. And the president's own people are telling him no. And he appoints Sidney Powell special counsel. They don't give her an office, and they won't give her a badge. So it's his own people that are doing this to him. That could be why he's going back to the White House a day early.
But the thing is, the problem here is that you can have all the evidence in the world, and they have it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to get somebody to listen to it. The only shot that he has is Pence.
Okay, so hold on. That you're speeding on me. Go to.
Well, but I'm just.
No problem. I get it.
I'm not speeding on you. No.
I'll go to it. Voice switch at Harris,
Well,
Texas.
let's talk about what Lynn Wood's blowing up all over online.
I got it here. You want it?
Yeah, read it.
I have the picture of it, right?
Go ahead.
He'll pull it up while you read it.
Oh, you want the picture of you want the The log, the flight log?
Well, Linwood's been going after a certain Supreme Court justice online bad.
So what do you want him to pull up, Gary?
Number 2.
Yep.
Pull that up, Sean. Thank you.
All right. Supposedly. Now remember something, that you can do magic with Photoshop. But I've seen a picture, and then you've got this. And this is a log of an Epstein flight.
You can't Photoshop this.
Can't?
Because this is all the same handwriting. I don't know if this is Jeffrey Epstein's handwriting or what, but it's all the same. It matches to the left, to the right, the numbers. You cannot write in Photoshop in someone else's handwriting.
You can't. I mean, I tried to figure out Photoshop. Do you know Photoshop?
I'm a Photoshop expert, and you can't do it.
Really? You should have told me that. Huh. I did not.
Well, I make no representation. I'm just telling you what this guy is saying. So this is what came out today.
Yeah, but he's right though. You can't.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck what tools you have.
As
you
of-
can't do it. Jesus Christ.
As of today, with a tweet from attorney Linwood, we now know that Jeffrey Epstein is alive.
What? I didn't know that.
Oh, he said that.
All right. Well, do you have the tweet?
Linwood said Jeffrey Epstein's alive.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
you
we
got
just had this argument last
Yeah,
night.
we
and you
did.
were right.
We did.
He was right.
Oh, well, him and I went at it. You know, as friends. I love this guy.
I was right about
not
some
do
things, and
anything,
he
but-
was right about that. Let me tell
Right.
you.
He was right. We were both right.
Can I finish this and then you guys can go out for a quiet dinner?
Yeah, but she tweeted that.
He said as of today with a tweet. I read the tweet, but this is somebody outlining it like somebody would outline it. Can I finish this or what?
Yeah,
Hey,
you finish it. I want you to pull. I want him to pull up the tweet because I want to see it too.
we now know that Jeffrey Epstein is alive. Epstein has all the knowledge of the pedophiles in the U.S. Senate and in positions of governorships, as well as SCOTUS. Did you see the picture of Schumer in a bathing suit kissing the little black child?
Yes.
Holy
Disgusting.
shit!
And that was at the island.
I mean,
That
Tommy,
was at the island.
Tommy, I'm talking lip lock stuff.
He flew out of Palm Beach a lot, huh?
Oh, sure. Where do you think Epstein was? He was on the island.
Jesus.
Like he's the only pervert in Palm Beach. I'm sorry. So if Epstein is alive, it means Trump protected him from being killed. It also means Trump has Epstein's cooperation to testify against deep state pedos.
Okay, now why in the hell would Trump protect him?
I'm just saying what's here, but I am saying that Linwood did accuse him of this. Did you get the tweet?
You want me to pull up? The
Yeah,
tweet
well,
now?
He wants the tweet.
Let's before we haven't explained. We already have this on the screen, so let's explain that this is a what is this?
Well, that's a flight log.
Thanks,
This is
Sean.
a flight log with John Roberts circled on it. He went to Epstein Island.
And John
100%.
Roberts is the
Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court.
Who did what?
Fucking
recently did what?
Christ. Turn against Trump.
Yes.
What if on January the 6th, Trump addresses Congress?
You can't fake that.
Hold on. This is interesting. Now, look, I have no proof of any of this, but it's just...
Well, right there's the proof because
He
you
went to the
can't.
island.
Yeah, you can't. Like Sean was telling you. I mean, I don't know Photoshop very well, but I know enough, and you can make things look different, right?
Yeah.
But you can't you can't get because you have fonts.
That's why they have handwriting experts in the FBI and all these places.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to take.
Well, let me finish.
that would be
let me
tough.
finish
Go ahead.
this, and it's what
I'm
what if
blown
I-
away by this bullshit.
what if January? I told you, let's do this. What if on January the 6th, Trump addresses Congress and reveals that Epstein is alive and is going to testify against all the senators and House members who are pedophiles, and that Trump is going to bring the full force of Executive Order 13818, that's the September 2018 order that we've talked
Did
about.
you ever hear that, Sean?
This sounds like a total, dream to me. I hope it's true, just like everything else.
yeah.
Against those who were complicit in pedophilia or the trafficking of children, which is one of the things I've told you bothers the hell out of me. This is way too pervasive in the society.
Well, Linwood alleges in these tweets, like you said, that Justice Roberts helped Epstein get kids.
Oh, I forgot about that. He helped Roberts adopt illegally 2 kids from
So
Northern
this is Linwood's
Northern Ireland.
Twitter page.
You all right?
So you tell me.
These
where
are
to go.
sick fucks. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
I'm no longer a sick fuck.
No, you're you've
You're
just
a normal
crossed
fuck.
Holy
you've,
hell.
you've just crossed the line to respectability.
Holy hell.
All right, let me finish this.
Show him where this is at so that we can
I don't know. The guy tweets 9 million times a day.
show and find out why you finished.
Yeah,
it.
that's it. There you go. We don't know whether this is the real plan, but it's one possibility. Why did Trump extend Executive Order 13818 for a full year if Trump were planning on leaving the White House on the 20th? Clearly, he's not planning on leaving. He's planning, in fact, on prosecuting the traitors. Trump might also unveil evidence that shows Joe Biden is a corrupt criminal who has taken numerous bribes from China and the Ukraine. He could roll out financial records in front of Congress, declare that Biden will be arrested the following day, and remind members of Congress that if they are complicit in criminal fraud and sedition, they would face arrest at will. Now, I'll point something out that yesterday...
Here it is.
Read it, bud. Somebody read it.
There you go.
My information from a reliable source, this is a Linwood tweet, is that Roberts arranged an illegal adoption of 2 young children from Wales through Jeffrey Epstein. I think we all can agree that Epstein knows pedophilia. If only Jeffrey was still alive, wouldn't that be something? Well, that's
So
the
she's
ultimate
alluding
tease.
to the fact that Trump's Trump card, is he still has Epstein hidden somewhere to come out against all these people.
He is
That would be a bomb.
That
would be a fucking bomb.
He is the president.
He could. It is within his power.
You know, I used to be...
Go back to that ear, Sean. Go back to that ear.
Go back what?
Well, you can Photoshop that. It doesn't matter.
My wife had my credit stolen one time, right? And my wife, what the hell is that?
They're showing the difference between.
This is Epstein's ear when he was alive, and this is the guy that they carted out of the maximum security prison.
Well, you know what's happening is it's so screwed up that anybody will believe anything. You know what I'm saying?
People don't know what the truth is anymore because they've been lied to for so many years.
Who do you believe?
Now let me ask you this:
Go ahead.
Do you think Epstein's alive?
I have no idea.
No, what's your opinion? It doesn't. You're not a fact checker.
I can't. I guess
in your opinion, is he alive?
I hope so, but no.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You and Sean don't think so.
Sean, do you think
They whacked
so?
him.
Yeah, I would think so.
He had too many powerful people. He knew too much.
Yeah, he was worth.
Who knows?
He was worth $500 million.
And he had taken how many top people to that island?
Well, Roberts, Schumer
whacked
was
him.
there, Clinton, duh.
12 times.
Yeah.
Right, and him and I were going back and forth about this last night.
Yeah.
And I don't, because he's not dumb. So
Here you go.
I have publicly accused him. Oh, by the way, Lynn Wood's forte is defamation law.
What's that mean?
That means slander. So if he's slandering these people, he's inviting a lawsuit.
Yes.
However, if he gets sued, the other side gives him discovery. So he's probably going to say it here. I don't know. I publicly accused him and Breyer of being profane anti-Trumpers. I have linked Roberts to illegal adoption, Jeffrey Epstein, pedophilia, and prior knowledge of Scalia's death. You know who Scalia was?
Justice Scalia.
He was a conservative justice.
Oh, the real good guy. He
Yeah.
was
yeah,
there forever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He like mysteriously died.
He was
couple
one
years
of the
ago.
best justices. I know that much. He was one of the best justices
Well,
ever.
from our point of view.
So Lynn Wood alleges that he said in an email to somebody that they were trying to fill his spot before he was dead.
Completely believable. I mean, that is not.
What isn't?
Wow.
How come you can? Well, it doesn't matter.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
You just see these pictures. I've thought for years, and I go back with this 25 years or whatever. Boehner was the speaker. What was the major? I forget what leader he was, but I always thought Boehner and Pelosi would come out, point fingers at each other, swear at each other, and say, "Oh, she's an idiot," and then go back in the cloakroom and pop the seal on a bottle of Maker's Mark that you and I paid for.
This is powerful, I think.
Read that, Sean.
Fred Trump, Donald Trump's father, kept this Edgar Guest poem framed on his desk. Success is failure turned inside out. The silver tint of the clouds of doubt. Blah, blah, blah. But it's basically showing you that he's never giving up.
Oh, Trump won't give up.
Trump's never giving up.
Nah, he's not
Well,
giving up.
there's a video of him 25 years ago when he's talking to a guy with his back to the camera, and he goes, "Look," he says, "when it's as bad as it can be, I'm in charge because I never give up. Now let's go." And the guy turns around. It's Dan Rather. Dan Rather hates Donald Trump. Why? How do you hate somebody like that? Okay?
They all got the memo to hate him.
Thank you very much. You and I have talked about...
This kid knows all this shit.
You and I have talked about Trump since 2016.
Yeah.
Right? We've talked about the same thing. Sun Tzu, Trump is, and I never was a fan before that. I never watched The Apprentice. But I thought to myself, I know what he's going up against, and he's the only guy that can solve it. And I had no idea it was like this.
But like some things him and I agree on. He's the only guy because I'm sure they told him, do not go to North Korea. I'm positive.
Of course.
And he said, fuck it. I'm going to go there and I'm going to handle it. And now this is after he publicly calls him fucking Rocket Man. He goes there with a guy, that could, I mean, he's basically, I don't care who he's got around him.
Go to Giuliani's tweets. Now, we talked about...
that's one guy that won't fold. I can tell you right now, 1,000%.
He put away 5 families and he's still on this side of the grass? That's respect.
Well, listen, you don't think that when all that went down that somebody knocked on his door? You know what he said to him? Fuck you.
Yeah.
So you're not getting to too bad Giuliani isn't Pence. Because if that was the case, Giuliani, you can try all you want with that guy.
Hey, listen, let me ask you a question. It's your side of the fence.
I love how he's doing this little video podcast, I guess you could call it, where he's not allowed to say this on national TV, but you can watch it here.
All right. So hold on. Freeze that a second.
You just woke up a guy that you don't want to wake up.
Thank you. Hold that thought, Giuliani, Pence. We had been talking a while, and one of the other ones that we did, you said, this isn't going to happen. He's not going to win this. Maybe he can get Michigan. I said, when one goes, they'll all go. You guys with the young eyes, you see the tweet right there. Read that.
In a country with free press, you would know. So he's saying the fake news is not reporting this.
And they're not.
The Georgia Senate Judiciary Committee issued a report demonstrating the vote was stolen from real Donald Trump. The vote was unanimously and bipartisan to audit Fulton County's absentee ballots and to decertify Biden.
Listen, you woke up a guy you do not want to wake up. Even if he doesn't pull this off, which I don't think he will, because I think they got the Pence. Personally. I don't know. I hope they didn't. I'm
Well, let me ask you a question.
Super hoping.
You're an expert at this.
I'm not an expert at anything.
Could Trump do the same thing to Pence?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
In my opinion. I don't know. You guys know more than me. I'm just giving you my opinion
if
from
Pence folds,
some retard over here.
If Pence folds, his hair can't get any more white. Okay? So if he folds, he'll never be able to show his face in this country again.
But again, it goes back to this, and I asked Sean this, but Sean's more of like a Rudy Giuliani, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can come with Rudy with whatever you want, and that fucker, and again, the only guy that he has loyal to him, in my opinion, and I'm a retard. When it comes to this, I'm retarded. So don't listen to anything I say. But in my opinion, the only guy that he has around him that won't fuck him, won't cross him, and isn't a fucking snake is Rudy. And he was nice and quiet. He was doing those little interviews on Fox and shit. And now you just woke up a guy that you really don't want to fuck with.
Do you know about the executive order?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he knows all about it.
Did you know that before that executive order, Barack Obama issued 2? Did you know that?
National Defense Authorization, are you talking about that?
No, in February of 15 and December of 16. He issued 2. Now, you know what was in the executive order? If they can prove Russian interference in a U.S. if they can prove foreign interference in a U.S. election, which Trump could prove, hell, I could go prosecute that case. So why did Barack Obama do this? My conjecture, then they go after Trump for Russian interference. If they prove it,
And they tried for 2 years.
Barack Obama owns the Trump empire.
Okay, so Gary, what do we have up here now?
I got that. I pulled that off of one of Patrick's threads, and he said, I can vouch for this. This is supposedly what's going to happen. Now, who knows? People are saying, I was watching Real America News today, and Rashim, who's Bannon's partner, he's saying word is around Washington that Pence doesn't have the stomach for this. But then Patrick comes up with this and says, I can vouch for this. And it is what is supposed to go down on the 6th of January. And you want to read the whole thing?
Yeah, go read it.
All right, so believe me or not, it doesn't matter. The 6th January electoral ballot counts is going to go down as the greatest troll of all time. You may or may not know, but the vice president gets to count the electors. That's one thing the Constitution makes crystal clear. A Dominion machine or a knockoff that looks like one. He's going to pull out a USB drive, update the software just before the count, use the machine to count elector ballots. Remember, this will be on national television. The count will not only come out fractional, but it will result in more votes than actual electors and the result in Trump winning more electors than Biden. The chamber is expected to erupt in chaos. Obviously, the count will be challenged. Pence will then conduct a recount, but he will use the machine to print the recount ballots and then hand those out. The recounted number will be similar to the original count, only changing by a couple of votes, but it will result in Trump winning by even more. The Dems are expected to cry fraud. Pence will object and call for order. He will tell them that it's too late to challenge because it's already done. The count is finished. He will then deliberately wipe the machine's software. This is a rough sketch of what is being planned.
Okay, so summarize that like in
Who
simple
knows?
terms.
They're gonna. This is what somebody thinks is going to happen on the 6th. Okay, so I don't know if Pence ultimately throws it to the House after the chaos, et cetera, et cetera. But look.
Let's ask him, Sean, what happens with this?
I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think he's just going to seal the votes from the states that are in question, and then Trump wins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and look, if Georgia decertifies, he doesn't get those votes. It was last night that the AG in Arizona filed an amicus brief, and he told the state legislators that they must represent the people. They don't make the law. And I think that state's going to be decertified. Then what happens to Pennsylvania? Giuliani said one thing I hadn't heard anybody say before yesterday I think he spoke for 7 minutes. He says you committed a federal crime when you certified those votes. And he said that to a basically Republican state election commission. He said, you committed a federal crime.
That's correct.
I said to somebody, when they certified, they know it's fake.
And they know a foreign country counted the votes from a foreign machine from a foreign country. That's illegal.
So a friend of mine who's very well versed in all this, we go back 17, 18 years like this, and he said to me, federal prosecution. And I said, well, you've been so negative. He said, don't matter anymore. If they did that, it's federal. That's federal.
Okay, but I have to ask you this question.
Sure.
Who's going to hear it, though?
Who's going to hear what?
What federal judge is going to hear it?
It's not a judge anymore. If they do this, if the election...
Is that how it gets to... that? But then it goes to Pence, though, right?
Right.
Well, there's the problem.
Yeah. There is or there isn't. But look, if we talked about this 3-4 weeks ago. If these states know now look, you just said Rudy's a beast.
He's a beast. If there's anybody that can do it, it's Rudy.
Okay, so do you want to be some dipshit sitting on the Michigan Election Commission, and you want to go up against Giuliani? If Giuliani's threatening you with prosecution,
Here's my...
I've never thought about that. And now, when he said that you've committed a federal crime if you certify those votes, they're going to rethink that. They don't want to go in front of a federal judge.
Now, if the federal judge was Rudy, I think they would think twice. But the problem is that I think they got to all of them.
You don't think that they care about getting handcuffed and being like led off
because
to
because
an indictment for election tampering?
Because I understand. Because you're a strong man. Rudy's a strong man. I'm a strong man. You're a strong man. But I think that when they go to these people, you know, it's such a fucked up situation. You know,
beyond all recognition.
And it's hard to even say, well, you're fucked up because you want to protect your family. You know what I mean? So it's like, in my belief, and again, I'm just giving an opinion. What the fuck do I know? In my opinion, they got to these people and they threatened them. And now you have to make a choice, your family or Trump, pretty much. There's only a few people that are going to stand up. And it's not even about Trump. And Sean pointed out some big word that I don't know last night. But basically, it's, what is it, the Constitution? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you're not loyal to Trump if you stand up for Trump right now. You're loyal to the Constitution and all elections from here on out.
Because he's right. Because once this is over and 4 years goes by and Trump's going to... Can you imagine if Trump doesn't win, what the hell he's going to unload? Oh, my God.
Go into... we'll finish this, okay? But bring up the oath of office for the President of the United States, and I'll tell you exactly what Trump's going to do. But before we sign off, okay, you and I have been talking about business conditions and all of this, and I can tell you what the stock market says. It does not like uncertainty. I have never, in my, 39 years old, seen such an uncertainty as we're seeing right now. It's going to be a shit show.
How long have you been into stocks while he looks this up?
77?
No. So how many years?
1977. How many years is that?
Fucking 3.
43.
43 years. All right. I said 45, so now you made me look like shit. Thanks. We're just +2.
Wait 2 years, you'll be right. Okay, so you know, we've always, in these casts, tried to figure out what makes this guy tick and what he's going to do. And I think, for whatever reason, for what he was in the past...
What the hell's all this?
It's the oath of office for the President of the United States. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know where the actual oath is, what they have to say here.
I can tell you. The oath of office, the first sentence of the oath of office is the president, the incoming president, says that to the best of his ability, and you just spoke of it, he will defend the Constitution.
That's correct.
So he is going to show up that day, and he knows, there it is, it's probably not the actual
Be
words.
bound by oath or affirmation to support the Constitution.
Okay, so...
Now, does that mean in simple terms what he's saying?
So when he put his hand on that Bible to become president, he said, I, Donald J. Trump, swear to God on the Bible that I will uphold the Constitution to the best of my ability.
So, the Constitution, Rudy's been talking about it. So, Trump, in his mind...
And Michael Flynn keeps tweeting, take the oath. Hashtag take the oath. Take the oath. To point you to that. To point you to that oath.
See what I mean? And that's what my guess is it's coming. By the way, you know what kind of guy Trump is? He built the golf course over on Military Gun Club Road. You know what I'm talking about? Must have $10 million worth of royal palm trees. When you come out,
I'm sure he does.
When you come out going east out of the club, it's a gorgeous club, but behind it is a prison. And as you get to Gun Club to Military, right up ahead, this is in the mid-90s. There's
nobody knows where that's at. So
you and I do.
Get to the point.
There was a strip joint
Okay.
right at the end.
There you go.
And this was in the mid-90s, and it was, I think the chick's name was...
So you're not the only one I do this to.
Was Bianca Trump. Well, he had a shit fit that she was there because the name was Trump. He just went ballistic.
Yeah.
Well, you can't stop it. I mean, if that's what she wants to do, and her name is Bianca Trump, that's what her name is. Well, of course, the Palm Beach Post hates him, and they ran with... This is 25 years ago. Now, for some reason, and I got a lot more Trump stories,
The point.
he's going to do this. He is a changed person. He's president of the United States.
I agree with you.
And he's going to step in and he's going to say, I took the oath of office and you motherfuckers cheated.
I want him to elaborate on this because you guys are good. I mean,
He's all about legacy now. He used to be all about me, get me rich, get women, grab him by the you know what, this and that. He was a showman.
Mm-hmm.
He was a playboy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he's all about being a grandfather. All of his kids are successful and amazing. They all have kids of their own.
As hell.
And
Who's the Jared?
Yeah.
Is that is
That's
his?
his son-in-law.
But his whole family are very well behaved. No scandals, no nothing. And now that's his legacy. He keeps that family in line, and all he's thinking about now is not the next dollar. He's gone down. His net worth has gone down the whole time he's been president. He doesn't care. He wants the legacy of being the guy who saved the United States, and that's what I'm praying about, and that's what I'm believing till the end here.
Now you guys tell me if you agree with me, right? I think when he ran, I don't think he thought he was going to win. I think that in his mind he thought, well, I could turn this into more. I could turn my other businesses into more of a profitable business because I'm more on the spot. Now you're on stage, right? And he just beat everybody's head in. I mean, Jeb Bush.
They deserved it.
But now Cruz is with him. Remember, Cruz was against him.
The establishment all picked Jeb Bush to run. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
They all said,
I know that.
Jeb Bush is running because it's going to be another Bush who put the whole CIA apparatus around this.
Wrong guy to put up against him.
His dad put the whole CIA presidential system in.
Well, that's why he got 80 more. That's why Biden got 80 more million fucking votes than any other president. I think, Abraham Lincoln? He got more votes than fucking Abraham Lincoln. I understand that people didn't live long back then.
Well, hold on a second.
But I want to get to my point. I want you guys
go ahead.
To elaborate. So my point is, I think he got in. He was shell-shocked that he actually won.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started looking at things. Because he's a narcissist like we all are. All three of us here are narcissists. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. We are. Whether you want to admit it or not, we are.
Okay.
I don't know if Sean will admit it because his girl will kill him, but he is. However, the question is, can you control it, right? I think when he got in and he saw what was going on, I think that completely changed him as a man. And it turned him into a man. Not just a businessman, like a man.
Well, there's no arguing where he is in time.
Right. And then he stopped, fuck the money, fuck it all. This is, because, imagine what he see. I mean, Sean knows probably more than you and me. Well, not me, but you and some other guy combined, he probably knows even more. And he sees what's going on. And because he's a man and because he's an American and has a heart, whatever sick fuck he was before.
And he has grandkids that he wants to raise in a country that's free. That's the whole thing.
And I truly believe he started thinking about his grandkids, his kids, and everybody else's kids after seeing the shit that we're not able to see.
You don't even want to know.
And I think that changed him because to have the energy, you can take all he's on modafinil. Well, if you're not taking modafinil, you're a fucking idiot. Go to the doctor and get it, okay? It's not going to hurt you. When they pull it out what he's taking, he's on modafinil. He's not on fucking Adderall. He's on modafinil every day, 300 milligrams.
Is he really?
Yes. Google it.
I'm going to start taking it now.
Well, get a prescription. But it will come up because the Democrats got his blood results. And the only way you can...
They put that on there?
Mm-hmm. And the only way you can trace modafinil is blood. And you got to hit it at the right time, and he's taking 200 milligrams, or maybe they got to his doctor. Who the hell knows? But he's modafinil, Provigil, I talk about it all the time because I think it's one of the most amazing chemicals ever made in life. I mean, you have a prescription for it, and look how it changed you. You're like 20, right? And again, the reason why I ask you to repeat this is so that if somebody's watching this, before you go get Adderall, which you're going to get addicted to, or Lexapro for depression, what has what has modafinil done for you, Provigil? What has that done for you?
I'm up every day at 5:30. I doubled my workouts.
Any side effects?
No, my breasts are a little bigger, but hey.
He's kidding, by the way. But anyway, I just think he got in. He saw what was going on, and I think he's a completely different guy.
I was an A cup, and no.
Do you think that's why he works harder than any other president? Is because he's on modafinil?
I think it's a combination.
Yeah.
I think that the modafinil.
I had no idea about this, by the way.
Well, the modafinil has been proven absolutely positive. And how old are you, Gary, again?
69.
Okay. How old do you feel?
69.
No.
I don't know. I sit around with you guys.
Okay.
And I feel
we're just
can't
trying to make
tell.
a point and get back to yourself.
I have plenty of energy.
Since you've had a prescription for modafinil.
I'm up at 5:30.
What is the difference?
I sleep 5.
Okay, you feel better.
Well, I'm alert.
Are you smarter?
I think so. I don't know.
Does it help with your stocks?
Yeah, you can pay attention. Yeah.
That's what I need. Pay attention.
And now, when you don't take it for a day, do you
feel like shit?
No. You're back to yourself, is what you feel.
I feel like shit. I feel like I'm 69.
Right, but now you just kill what I was saying. Do you feel any physical or mental withdrawal effects?
I'm dozy.
You're back to you.
Yeah.
The person that you were prior to taking it.
Correct.
I'm talking about, do you feel any type of withdrawal, mental or physically?
No.
How does somebody get a prescription for that? Like,
I don't know.
You go ask a doctor to get like what is your
Well,
symptom?
you're a young guy. Okay, but
I want to be a billionaire.
That it ain't gonna do it for you.
I want to work harder than everyone else.
Think so?
Well, yep. I think if you go get a prescription for it, okay, and you take it correctly, and you take it every day, not 5 days, 7 days a week. I've been taking it for 20 years straight, and I've had a little bit of vacations in between, and just stopped. I was on it 9 years straight, every day, 300 milligrams. Stopped. Yeah, I mean, I was back to me. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but I mean, nothing, no type. I was just not blah, but
I'll tell you, I feel
so to his
20 years younger, easy.
There you go. That's what I was trying to get out of
Yeah.
here. But I didn't want to say it. I wanted him to say it.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that the modafinil, unlike Biden, who, I got clocked for this one. The last time I said it, I know what they're shooting him.
Biden doesn't even have.
No, they're just
wherewithal.
they're rocking him with tests and.
Did you
Adderall
see the first debate?
Weirdo.
All of a sudden, this guy shows up, and then Tommy said at the end of it, he started to lose it.
Oh, they had him on stuff.
Yeah.
They had him on a bunch of stuff to be normal.
Yeah. You know what they hit him? Wow.
Speculation.
Whatever they hit him with. If I were to hit him with something, I would have said, "Look, you're gonna have a headache in a little bit." Because this is why nobody's ever overdosed from modafinil. And the reason why I always bring it up in these podcasts is because fuck depression medication. If you're addicted to Coke, you're an alcoholic, modafinil will cure it. It will absolutely cure it. ADHD, depression, social anxiety, motivation, plenty of things. But no doctor is going to give it to you. No PCP is going to give it to you because they want to give you Adderall because then you're addicted to Adderall. Now they get a kick from Adderall. Now to get off the Adderall, they got to give you a benzodiazepine.
Adderall
Xanax.
is just speed, synthetic speed.
It's fucking
it's horrible.
It's fucking he's right.
One of my ex-girlfriends was addicted to Adderall, and she looked great, always in great shape, always had energy.
Yeah,
but she was the most annoying person to be around.
Yeah,
annoying.
And believe me, days when she didn't take it, I bet you she didn't feel too. I bet you she didn't feel so good.
Way more annoying if she didn't take it.
But what happens is you go to the PCP, right, and they give you the fucking Adderall or Ritalin, which is even worse. And now you go from like a happy person, like energy like he has, he can't stay on track like you. And then you just become a fucking like not yourself, you know, and now you stop it Well, now you're addicted. It's addictive.
So
No,
you know for a fact Trump is taking this stuff.
Google it. You can Google it right now while him and I talk. Google it.
Let's do it.
Type in providual. Provigal. Say, does Donald Trump take providual?
And that is a brand of
Well, the chemical name for providual is modafinil. Remember I sent you.
visual.
No, providual. PRO.
Yep.
VIGAL.
AO.
AL. There you go.
Oh my God! Look at that.
So, to his question, Gary.
Yeah.
Wow, I just proved this to him because it might not be the right one, but there's one that says everything he's on. But so to his question, I think the providual helped him, yeah, but he also has that genetic
Scottish
fight.
He's got that Scottish
he's
fight.
got that fight in him, where he's not going to lose. But hit maybe later. Keep looking, Sean.
Propecia?
No, that's fucking for hair loss.
This is not the right article.
Yeah, no, go back.
I thought Business Insider would be good.
President. Put in.
There it is. There it is.
Where
Oh
is
no,
it?
right there. Are Ambien and Providual?
No. We're talking about Trump. Though. Type in.
Well, Ronnie Jackson was his doctor.
No, type in.
Oh.
What drugs is Donald Trump taking? Yeah. No, Sean, go back and type in what drugs is Donald Trump taking? Providual will come up. But so I mean, I think he got through it because of the fight, and Providual would absolutely, definitely helped him. Fuck yeah.
Well, he's
not on anything serious.
He's
believe
5
it or
years
not.
older than me.
And he's horrible.
There's no way that he's in the shape that I'm in, and he seems to have unbelievable energy.
Yeah, it's going to come up on one of these because when they did when he got COVID, his blood test came out. Look, all right, right there. There you go.
This one?
Yep, click on that.
See, I think this is going to be COVID-19.
Yeah, but COVID hit close on that stupid ad. Well, great ad. If you like an ad on the show, let me know. But I don't need you because Sean's going to figure it out. Read full article. Trump was 74. Okay, keep going down. Right. Okay.
Regeneron is.
Yeah.
what
That's
he said
that.
made him
Yeah.
feel 20 years younger.
Yep. Keep going down. You'll see it.
Remdesivir is an antiviral.
Mm-hmm.
Dexamethasone. That's it. This is for COVID though. This is not for just taking everyday life.
Yeah, but just type in Trump mode. Well, this is good. This is good for the podcast. This is why I'm gonna win because it's just natural. Who gives a fuck? Who cares if there's fuck ups? President Trump and I take the same drugs. I mean,
Hopefully that's not a guy sitting under a bridge.
wow, there's David. Oh, right there, Melania. Fuck, should have sent the link.
Except one.
While popping a daily dose of pills, the drug the guys over 60 often take. Keep looking, Sean. That's okay. But yeah, he takes it. I'll show it to you.
Well, I said
I don't remember how.
I said in 2016.
Because I was looking at his blood test because I wanted to see what he took.
Yeah.
It was aspirin, the Respiron, the high. What's the drug for COVID? Hydroxy something.
Isn't it?
Hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, he takes that every day. It's good. It's actually preventative.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one that
Yeah,
actually.
that was so crazy when they attacked that when it was a preventative.
Yeah.
Everyone knew it was.
Well,
Keep looking for it, Sean.
so anyway, you'll see everybody in the world say 74 million people voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Well, I just showed you that they took Trump votes away from him. Now, Sidney Powell had said about a month ago that she thinks a minimum of 8 million votes were taken from Trump. I don't know much, but 74 and 8 or 82. Now,
Yeah.
I had said in 2016, I know he's getting his head handed to him, and there was an article in the paper today about his Scottish golf course is losing money. Duh. Of course it is.
How is he not losing money,
Yeah,
right?
but here's the point. I saw something the other day where the primetime anchors at Fox are talking to Don Jr. about the Trump network. That's the first thing that I thought about.
I'm sorry to cut you up. Just type in, is Donald Trump on modafinil?
So if you think about that,
Yeah, keep talking, Gary. Thank you.
you got 85 million people. Well, look, where do you go to get the truth? What are we talking about here? There's no place to go.
Aspirin, Crestor.
Ambien. That's not the right one.
Well, we'll find it. If you
Yeah.
said you saw it, it's there.
I sent it to you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, keep going. Cholesterol. That's the funnest thing in the world to me. People are worried about cholesterol. It's not even real. Can't do anything to you. Whenever you get a blood test and then you have high cholesterol, don't take anything. Tell them to go fuck themselves.
Just do more exercise.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't
That's
have
the only
any.
thing.
Pull up, I'll find it. I'll find it for you, Sean. Pull up the next pick he has.
I think we're done.
You got another
Number
one.
7?
Yep.
No, 3. What about number 3? What is
Yeah,
this?
explain that one, because I don't know what the hell that is. Sean, you probably do. But...
Oh, all the signatures are the same.
So explain all that.
Well, these are all fake ballots. And what's interesting is if you go down on the right
Are
side.
you saying that these are all the same
Yeah.
handwriting?
Yeah. If you go down on the right side, look. Candy Street. Did you see Bobby Pitton yesterday in his testimony in Georgia?
No.
Bobby Pitton was the guy in Michigan, and when they asked him point blank, would you certify these results? He said, if I were the CEO, and this guy's brilliant, by the way, brilliant mathematician. He said, if I certified those votes, he said, if I was a CEO of a public company and I certified financials as bad as these votes, I'd go to prison. There is no way I'd sign off. Well, yesterday he was on Zoom or whatever, and he just went ballistic. He had thousands of he went in and he scoped thousands of these voters, and he pointed out the correlation in the names. It's just statistically impossible. I can't remember quite what he said,
Yeah.
but you had all these names.
A
Williams.
forensic accountant could pick every state apart for millions of votes.
Well, someplace down in here, you see Candy Street or Condi Street, and I was looking at these. There's one that says Norma Jean. Okay? Do you know who Norma Jean is?
No.
Marilyn Monroe. Norma Jean Doherty. Now, if you're filling these things out and you're getting bored.
I heard that a dead boxer voted.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Frazier.
Oh, yeah. That was in Philly,
Yeah,
right?
he voted.
Yeah.
Somehow he being dead for a few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing how clever
Rest his soul.
those dead people. And you know, the whole thing is they all vote Democrat. I don't get that. I don't
Very
get that.
weird.
No,
Let me
it's
look at this piece of paper for everybody here.
yeah. Look at the handwriting. Those are all ballots. Look at
They're
it.
all the same handwriting. With made-up names, basically, and made-up addresses.
Yeah.
With very little effort, they could take away millions of votes from Biden, and they're just not doing it.
The judge. It was Stacey Abrams' sister in Georgia that ruled against them, throwing out illegal ballots.
They're putting in so many judges everywhere. You guys know. I mean, the Soros political machine is putting in judges and district attorneys everywhere.
I hope the Navy SEALs knows where he lives.
They
From your lips to God's ears, buddy.
They fucking buried this pretty good.
Which one?
They don't want you to know he's on it.
What are we talking about?
Provigo. I'm still trying to find that
Oh.
article.
Oh.
I gotta look at my text to you.
So anyway, that's
Well,
that.
you know they want everyone on fluoride and dumbed down.
Yeah.
They don't want you on anything
I'll
that
find
actually
it.
helps
I'll find
you.
it and send it to you.
the dumbing down part,
Wow.
that's working.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I wanted to do is
Jesus Christ.
look at the handwriting, Tommy.
It's so obviously fake. It's the same guy filling out all the ballots.
Hey, Bozo, could you like slant to the other side?
Now you would think, right, that would go to a handwriting expert, right, to figure it the fuck out.
See, you guys missed it.
No, they just count the votes, Tommy.
Do you? No. Do you?
Well, I realize.
Do you know what's fascinating about this? I can sit there and I'm thinking, Jesus, who would watch an hour and a half of this? I flick it on. My wife comes in, stands behind me. We're watching it, and we watch the whole thing. There was a woman yesterday that came into Georgia. She pointed out that the only person looking in her district or her precinct or whatever was some woman in her 70s. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but she had no training. And you know how you scribble on those pads and you can't possibly put a good... She said that's what they were using, if they checked it at all. Now, when you scribble on one of those pads, it doesn't look like anything.
Yeah.
And that's what they used. Well...
I found it.
The whole thing...
This whole process needs to be overhauled. Trump needs to overhaul the whole voting process so it's in person. Whatever you got to do, fingerprint, whatever, that's your vote.
Well, that's how it should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about these guys that went
better
to...
match. If they call you in, your fingerprint better match.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you this. They said that they contacted this commission in Georgia, 8,000 people that didn't live in Georgia that voted illegally.
Oh, he can go on for hours about this.
They're
shit.
getting
He
not-
knows.
They're getting
They're
contacted.
bussing people in to vote. I heard that.
Well, they're going to get a scare. Let me tell you, you don't know, but in Florida, how did Barack Obama win in 2012 when you got so many Cubans here that know the downside of socialism? So we vote by mail, and then I check to be sure the votes went in. Wasn't thinking. I knew the election commissioner before they took over and kicked her out. Her name was... escapes me. I forget what her name was. Anyway, there's a new one.
Sean, you know how to zoom in on that? I mean, that is all the exact hand.
How do I zoom in on that?
I'll show you another time. But I mean, there's no doubt about it. I'll put it up. Now you got one more slide, Gary, right?
I don't think so.
Does it have one more, Sean?
I got the Clintons.
Yeah, put up the tree, the crooked tree.
Number 7. So my comment on this was, look, even the tree is crooked.
Look at how much better Melania's tree and just White House looks. Like these people are totally demonic, pretending to care about Christmas. Look at that ugly tree, ugly house, ugly decorations. She has the place looking like a palace. Melania's all class.
Right, like you would think, right? All the money at that fight. How much does he get for a speech? $400K? Or no, Obama gets $400K.
He gets $500,000 for a speech, but they already paid him for that speech while his wife was in office after they checked her illegal server.
Oh, please don't forget to send me that Soros thing.
Yeah, that was from the WikiLeaks drop.
Well, look, there's one thing I want to touch on.
Yeah, go ahead. I was too busy looking up this.
No, we're talking about.
I know.
You and I were talking about business.
It pisses me off because I know what they do.
It all pisses me off. But look,
I found it though.
What the market does is it does not like uncertainty, and you've got this is the you got 6 days, 7 days until this comes up, and there's going to be people in there on the 5th. By the way, they shut all the hotels down, and if you want a hotel room, it's $5,000 a night. That was to get back at the Trump people. Well, you're going, didn't you say you were going?
I have a hotel.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's not $5,000.
Well, no, but I saw online that they were attempting to shut the hotels down so you guys wouldn't have any place to stay.
They are keeping D.C. completely shut down. Last time I was there, I had to work out doing pull-ups on a tree in a park where people would periodically come over and tell me to keep my mask on.
Yeah.
Outside.
Well, I would suggest this time when you go grab an Antifa member and just do lifts. But then
Yeah.
again, that's only like 60 pounds. So
And I'm doing sprints. I'm doing sprints down and backs at this park, and kids are riding around on their bicycles around the park with masks on. And I'm saying to their parents, your kid has a mask on and he's pedaling as fast as he can. You know what's going to happen, right? We're going to have to call an ambulance. Be a good parent. Kids are not in danger here. Look at the data.
You got to hear this, and then we'll get to your point, and then we'll let him out of here so him and I don't both get killed.
Yeah.
Well, his girl will kill me, and then probably kill him.
Oh,
Yeah. What were you saying about the mask thing? He made a really good point about wearing a mask and not wearing a mask.
I can't remember which point I made. There's so many of them.
Yeah,
There's a 10 million mask study that's now come out. All the data from people wearing 10 million masks, and it makes no difference to whether or not you catch it.
I've seen that.
yeah.
But you know what does make a difference is if you're breathing in your own bacteria, you're more likely to catch what? Pneumonia.
Yeah.
Which looks just like what? COVID.
Yeah.
So there's too many coincidences for them to not know what they're doing here.
And you did say President-elect Biden said that
You just put a hawker on the ground if you didn't say it.
Remember he shows up when he has a speech, Office of the President-elect in the background, which isn't real. It's not a real office.
Office of the President-elect maybe.
They totally staged that too.
If we bullshit everybody and get away with it, office. So anyway, he said he will make masks mandatory for the first 100 days of his presidency. You're
also
talking
shut
about
down everything too. He's been hit. I've been hit. Everybody's taking a loss right now. I've never seen anything like this.
So here's my point. Okay, the market.
And I want to ask two of you, and then you get to your point.
Yeah.
Now, wherever you're watching this, in Palm Beach, they just put a curfew out there. You see that?
I saw that. I was going to ask you, what is that about?
New Year's.
How the fuck do I know? They put
1
a.m.
1 to 5.
Yeah, so hey, Happy New Year, get the hell out. That's what the bars have to do. Could you imagine if you're a bar owner and this is when you make most of your money all year, New Year's Eve, and your big party's coming in, and then you got to kick everyone out at 12:30. They have to be out of the club or bar at 12:30.
You know what, DJ? You know Hutter?
Yeah.
DJR.
JR.
Right? JR. Yeah, my man. He's cool as hell. They put in restrictions, but then certain authorities, they went in with new restrictions that weren't even on paper and just fucked with them. You know what I mean?
Well, you're in the most liberal county in Florida.
Well, right. You walk out of here right now in Palm Beach and you got a 1 to 5 curfew.
I saw that.
I couldn't believe it when I drove in here. I was like, what?
I saw that
Business
when I came
killer.
in.
Masks are a business killer. No one wants to go out to a business and shop around the mall with a mask on. It's a business killer.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
No one's going to survive this. The stores are already going out because everyone's shopping online.
It's dead.
No one's going to
You're
survive
right.
this. The first
He's
100 days,
100% right.
all the businesses will be closed by day 50.
Gone.
Like what you
Dead,
said.
gone, not coming back.
And that's what they want. They want a consolidation of wealth in the big companies.
And
you know the difference between socialism and capitalism. Capitalism, there's millions of millionaires. In socialism, there's just a few.
Yep.
Look at the net worth of any dictator that ever lived.
But
Hitler was a billionaire.
Killing everything. I've never seen shit like this ever. You know what I mean? Okay, go to your point.
Well,
and then what we'll do is we'll have Rob back there, and then we'll have both of you in. So get to your point, and then he's got to go.
So here's the deal.
Your point.
The economy. How do you operate in this economy? Well, the first thing that you got to do, the government's going to want you to go out and spend your money. You're getting your $600. I mean, go blow it, right? What the hell are you going to do with that? You have got to entrench and just protect your family. Be sure you have enough money to get to the next stage if you have it, and protect yourself, because this, I don't see anything good. How this market got where it is just a function of money, and it's what they call the Dukes. If you ever saw the movie Trading Places, 44, the Dukes were the manipulative capitalists that just screwed everybody. They don't care. You don't get the money back.
Yeah.
It's like I told your buddy. I said, go to cash before you kill yourself. What a crime.
It's going to go down in value
you get
By the wayside when they print all these checks.
it already
Well,
has.
that's why Bitcoin's going up so high.
It
is
already
because,
has.
yeah, but that's all manipulated too. I mean, that's all
It's-
bullshit.
Yeah, but gold and silver are always going to be
Gold, you're
money.
right.
Always going to be money.
Gold and diamonds.
Paper's not always going to be
And
money.
diamonds.
Well, in the last 6 weeks,
Gold, silver, diamonds.
in the
Yep.
last 6 weeks, the dollar has crashed, and gold and Bitcoin is going crazy. Bitcoin
Well,
hit
Bit-
30 grand.
Bitcoin is
Well-
digital gold.
Well, Bitcoin's is manipulated. It's bullshit. I'll never buy it.
Well, when the dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes up. Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah. I'd rather buy gold or a diamond. Okay,
but-
so
so it's
listen.
manipulated. Who's manipulating it?
Well, that's
The
for
big money.
No, it's not. But
People who own all the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
that's for another time.
Yeah.
So now, what's gonna happen next time is we'll have Rob back there, and all three of us will do it, and we'll crush it.
All right.
All three of us together. All right, Gary. Thank you for your time, man. As always, my man, Grandpa Gary and Sean. Thank you very much, my brother.